should be charged with child endangerment. Yet the left, including political leadership in Great Britain, only see it one way, that the 45th president, by enforcing immigration law, is somehow cruel.
Many of us in this House will be aware of the deeply distressing audio and images of children separated from their parents in US detention centres. Infants as young as 18 months are being caged like animals. Babies of 8 months are being left isolated in rooms. And last night, the former head of US Immigration and Customs Enforcement said he expects hundreds of these children never to be reunited with their parents. Lost in the system, orphaned by the US government. Is the Prime Minister still intending to roll out the red carpet for Donald Trump?
The pictures of children being held in what appear to be cages are deeply disturbing. This is wrong. This is not something that we agree with. This is not the United Kingdom's approach. There will be a range of issues that I'll be discussing with President Trump, a range of issues about our shared interests. And I think it's important that we welcome we make sure that when we see the President of the United States here in the United Kingdom, we're able to have those discussions. That means that when we disagree with what they're doing, we say so.
Can I have to see that as a disappointing answer from the Prime Minister? We should all be unreservedly condemning the actions of Donald Trump, and I ask the Prime Minister to do that.
Now, truly, who cares what the British Parliament thinks about our immigration policy? Look at the immigration cesspool they have created in London. Donald Trump is vowing to not let the United States morph into Great Britain, aka a giant migrant camp. Good for the president for taking this firm stance, because it sends a message to would-be illegal immigrants. It is the opposite message that Barack Obama proffered for 8 long, painful, and lawless years, right? Joining me now from Southern California, chairman of the board for the Center for Immigration Studies, Peter Nunes. Peter, this is important. The world is watching. In particular, people who have a gumption, some sort of notion to try and violate our sovereignty and come up possibly through our southern border. And so for prior years, they saw we were weak on DACA, that Barack Obama unilaterally created this system, this law, that Barack Obama had an open door policy. They've seen us cave over and over again, and now what's happening in Washington, D.C. looks to me like another giant cave, another message being sent south of the border.
Well, look, you cannot stop illegal immigration if you keep rewarding it. And we've been in DACA and the children, this issue with the children, all of these things have been sending the wrong message to the world for more than just the Obama years, for many, many years. But the Obama administration was really the worst of the last several administrations. The world watches, the people watch, and if they think they can get to the United States and get through to the border and that they're going to be home safe, they'll have a job, they'll have free public education for their kids, they'll get medical care. We've been sending exactly the wrong message for many, many years, and it's about time that the president and this attorney general have changed the language here.
Should be noted, you just mentioned free education, and people scratch their head over that. That's a court ruling. That's not a law, correct?
That's the Supreme Court decided that many years ago.
So it should be up to the Congress to possibly change that, again, to disincentivize these people who want to violate our sovereignty. But when it comes to asylum, there's a couple of channels here. One are the people who come up to the border and ask border agents for asylum. The other are the groups that violates our sovereignty and then asks for asylum. This group that comes up, for example, this caravan that we saw for days and weeks on end head to the border, all of them are in right now. This is the giant loophole this law needs to be changed, Peter.
Absolutely. The law wasn't always this way. Again, this was a change that took place over the last 8 or 9 years. The law used to be you presented yourself to the border and you returned back to the American consulate or the American embassy and you were told to go and apply for your asylum, make your asylum claim there. the law in 1996 was changed to allow a border official to deny the claim, but then the person has a right to appeal, which is the loophole that allows them to enter the United States on an indefinite period of time, waiting for their court appearance. 90% of whom never show up for their court appearance.
Right, and this is the so-called part of the so-called catch and release.
Absolutely.
Again, another law, that's number 3 we've identified so far. One isn't a law, it's a court ruling, but all 3 need to be changed. They need to be addressed by the Congress. I want to go off on a tangent for just one moment. I'm hearing these comparisons, especially from Sulu from Star Trek, the actor. And he's saying that, he's comparing it to interning Japanese in World War II. And I'm not making light of that. I think it was a horrific thing and it was unconstitutional. But these are wholly different items here. We're talking American citizens who were interned by Roosevelt versus people who were non-U.S. citizens who are being detained.
That's right. It's a whole different ballgame from that. That analogy makes absolutely no sense. These are people that have violated the law, and finally we have an administration that is going to enforce the law. And I understand that there's maybe a change taking place as we speak, that the families will be kept together, but they will be kept together in detention. Otherwise, the kids become a get-out-of-jail-free card. Everybody knows that. The Obama administration sent that message for years, that if you show up with a kid, you're basically going to be released into the interior of the United States, never to be seen again.
All right, the congressman from New York, Congressman Reed, who was on this program a few minutes ago, turned himself into a pretzel, saying that what they're talking about in Washington, D.C. is not amnesty. How do you frame it?
Okay, amnesty is anything that allows people who are here illegally to stay. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's their goal. They came here, they want to stay, and if you allow them to stay, you have forgiven them their violation of the law, the fact that they are here illegally. So that's an amnesty, no matter how you want to otherwise try to obscure that point. It's an amnesty. You're giving them a free ride. You're absolving them of the crime they committed. That's an amnesty.
All right, so I agree with you 100%. It is amnesty, by definition. The Goodlatte bill, it was okay. There were some good elements in it, E-Verify. It wasn't great. Again, it linked amnesty to border security. But this compromise is worse. It's got so many problems. Where do you begin? I have a partial list here. It's immediate amnesty to 1.8 million illegals. Eliminates only aspects of the diversity visa lottery system, delays reducing legal immigration, no E-Verify, most chain migration remains, does not withhold money to sanctuary cities, $25 billion for border security, but future Congresses don't necessarily have to allocate that money. What's wrong with these people in Congress? Is it, the congressman blamed it on the 60-vote threshold in the United States Senate. Is it that simple?
No, look at this. The sort of open border advocates have been at this now for 50 years. They will never give up. The compromise bill is atrocious. As you said, the Goodlatte bill has some very good things in it. It has a few bad things in it. That's sort of the history of immigration enforcement. Is that you always get the good with the bad. In the past, there's been more bad than good, and hopefully at some point, the House will come to its senses and do the right thing to make our immigration law a realistic deterrent to future illegal immigration.
Well, you're more optimistic than I am, Peter, because if they can't do it now with a majority in the House and a majority in the Senate, sure, it's a slim majority, and a gung-ho president in the United States who wants to secure this country, wants to secure the border, I don't know when it's going to happen. Peter, thank you. Coming up next, exploring the link between video gaming and psychopathic behavior as the Daily Ledger continues.